Can you hear me now? Sorry, guys. It seems like I'm having the most difficult time. Let's try that again. Start the show, take two, and action. Welcome to Coffee with Malcolm. It's January 29th. Thank you for joining me this morning. I have my cup of coffee. Tastes great. It's the only way to start the day. I hope you're having a great day or slept well last night. So let's get this thing started. Oh my gosh, why am I having such technical difficulties? This is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. One day I might have somebody to come in here and assist me one day, or remotely or something like that. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Hey, Slayria. I'll get it right. Rand's Wesley there as well. Thanks for joining me this morning, guys. Like I said, some interesting stuff on the internet I wanted to share with you. Couple of oddities, if you will. And yeah, we'll just go with that like we normally do. Been watching the Squid Games, and then I got introduced to another show called Roadkill on Discovery Plus. It's a show about a couple of guys with they find clunkers and junkers, and they try to like take them places and take them to like contests and races and stuff, and their journey along the way. It's a cool little show. It's got some funny things. If you like cars and like working on cars, it's a cool little show to watch. It's been out for a little while. I think it's got 13 seasons. A recent friend of mine told me about it. So I've been watching it. It's entertaining. It's like a 20-minute episodes for like TV. So it's short and sweet, but it's kind of cool. If you like working on cars, it's interesting. You know, the different things they go through to keep the car running. And I think you only get old cars. They're not getting anything new. So you're looking at stuff from the 50s, 60s, and 70s that they're tooling around in, doing their thing. But yeah, it's fun to watch. Anywho, there was an interesting story this morning about a particular flower and called the quartz flower. Now, I have not looked it up, a picture of it or anything, but you can. It's called the quartz flower. The thing grows like 6 or 7 feet tall, and it blooms once a year for just one day, and it's called the corpse flower because the smell it emits smells like rotting flesh. And obviously, they said this thing is, to the point of extinction as far as this flower is concerned. I can tell why. If it smells like, rotting flesh, it wouldn't be that great to have around. But botanical gardens and stuff like that around the world have them and display them as a rarity. And people obviously like to show up and experience the stench of the corpse flower. I don't know why you would be excited, pay money, and travel to go watch a flower bloom that smells like a bunch of dead people. Different strokes for different folks. I don't know. It's called the corpse flower. Look it up if you like. Check it out. Food for thought. And yeah, it's kind of bizarre. I mean, I like flowers. I've been to botanical gardens. One in Atlanta is really nice. They have like this Alice in Wonderland theme going on with the flowers taking shape of different characters from the Alice in Wonderland theme. And they have all kinds of different stuff around the botanical gardens. It's really nice to visit. Even if you don't like gardening or anything like that, you don't have to take a date. It's not like you just go by yourself, or go with some friends, or go with some, a date or something like that. But it's really nice to just see all the different things they have in a botanical garden. It's really cool to see. I haven't been in a few years. I've been to one in Atlanta twice. I would like to. There's a botanical gardens here in Athens. I have not visited it. It's supported by the college here in town, from what I understand. Relatively smaller than the one in Atlanta, but I'd like to go check it out. I may bring you guys along one day. Once spring hits, it warms up outside, and all the flowers start to bloom. So that'd be really nice. But yeah, the weather here in Georgia is going to be insane. We haven't even hit February yet, and we're going to be jumping up to 70 degrees Fahrenheit by Friday. It's going to be like spring-like weather, sunny and 70 degrees in February. So we went from complete snow and chaos to, hey, let's get out our shorts and flip-flops. So if you want diversity in your climate, come to Georgia. We'll shake it up for you. It's always been that way. I lived in Georgia for like 20 years, and it's always been that way. It's just like Um, yeah, it fluctuates so much, and the way the weather changes. Now, the following week, it may drop down to freezing again. Who knows? And it just wreaks havoc on plants and critters, bugs, and things like that that emerge from their winter sleep only to be frozen again. So, what a life is that, you know? uh, they say if you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. Exactly. Hey, Wesley's down in Texas. Just give it a second. It'll change for you. Mm. Uh, but yeah, the corpse flower. I just kind of skimmed over it this morning. I didn't really go into research, but I thought it was a cool little story uh, to touch on today. And then I was looking at some good news stuff as well. Evidently, this firefighter saved a house with a jug of milk and a few beers. So I don't even know how that was even possible. There's some kind of story behind it. It's like 5 pages long. I'm not going to read it all, but roughly speaking, um, yeah, a California fire chief single-handedly saved a house armed with only a carton of milk and a few beers. It's just weird. Some of the stuff they come up with on here. These are the good news stories that are happening in our world. uh, oh man! And then there was a story of this one rapper, something Demos or whatever, a Detroit rapper, um, and let's say she's extremely overweight. Okay, and she's like really big. But she tried to get a ride on a Lyft, and the driver of the Lyft car was like, "You're not getting in my car," and drove off. And now she's got a lawsuit against Lyft, saying that they discriminated against her for her weight, and they did not give details of the type of car that pulled up to pick her up. They didn't say if it was like a Prius or a Suburban SUV. It just said a Lyft driver. So I think there's more to it than that. And yeah, you don't want to judge people like that, but where do you draw the line on that? You know, if you're a Lyft driver, you're using your own car, you're like a gig worker, and you're going around trying to make money, and you drive this little Yugo, and somebody comes up and they want to hop in, and you're like, no. But my point being is that Lyft is a ride service like Uber, where you can get an app. It's like a taxi service. You say, I'm here and I want to go there. A person in their own car who works as a contractor for Lyft or Uber will pull up to you. You hop in and they'll take you there for a reasonable price and get you to point A to point B. It's good for like if you're in city or town. People use it here in the college town a lot. But anyway, I did Uber years ago when it was coming out, just trying it out. It wasn't for me. But when you're out there and you've got your phone going on with Uber or Lyft, you get an alert, bling, and it says this person needs a ride. Do you want to accept this, job? And you say, yeah, I'll take it. And then you go there. You have no clue who you're picking up or anything like that. But they have a rating, a 5-star rating. So if you get a bling on your screen, somebody's wanting a ride, and they've got like this horrible 1-star rating from all these drivers saying this guy's a complete jerk, you can deny it and say, well, he's an asshole. Boop, not taking that ride. So if you can do that in the app for people who have 1-star reviews and you can refuse them sight unseen, why can't you refuse somebody a ride sight seen? What if the person who'd been rolling around in horse manure decided they wanted to ride home to take a shower? You wouldn't let them in your car if they were literally covered in feces or something like that. Somebody, worked on a septic truck. Their truck broke down. They just pumped out somebody's septic tank. They got people's crap on their boots and stuff, and they need to ride home for whatever reason. You could be like, you're not getting in my car, dude. Bye-bye. And you just drive off. I mean, so... I think, if you can deny for a rating or if you can pull up on somebody, and I remember there was one, I never really drove off on anybody, but I saw some people coming and I'm like, do I really want them in my car? Mainly it was like drunk people. If they needed a ride from the club back to their apartment, and they're just slobbery drunk, obnoxious, loud, and I had this fear that we're just going to throw up all in my car, and they never did, but they're super obnoxious. You get out and they're like, and then you take them somewhere, and they're asking you stupid questions. They're loud and yelling at each other, laughing and stuff, and you drop them off. You're like, holy crap, I need some Advil. This is insane. And I could have denied them when I pulled up. I could have just drove off and said, yeah, I'm canceling that ride, and then they would have had to get somebody else to come pick them up, and they probably would have gave me a crappy review for it. But that's the check and balances of that type of service when you're talking about Lyft and Uber. So I don't think she really has a case, in my opinion, because she's extremely overweight and wanted to get in somebody's car and they denied her. So I don't know. She can't sue the public transit system if the seats aren't big enough for her to sit in. You know what I'm saying? She can't sue airlines because they didn't have a seat big enough for her on the airline. Right? So what's so special about this? I think it's like a publicity stunt. You know, she's an up and coming artist in Detroit, and more power to her. If she's a great rapper, great. You do your thing, you may be awesome. That's wonderful. But, you know, I don't think, and if I do remember correctly, when I was doing Uber, they gave you like a survey of things you had to answer. And one of them is your vehicle handicap accessible? Can I take people in wheelchairs? And I would put on there, no, I had a little sedan. I can't accommodate somebody that needed a lift to get into the vehicle with their wheelchair. I didn't have that type of vehicle, you know? So if this person had a certain criteria and they needed a vehicle, they had to get a special vehicle to come get them because they were in a wheelchair. I don't know. Am I just harping on it too much? I don't know. You know, it's just like, where do you draw the line? I mean, people just sue on everything. They sue any company they can for anything they can, anytime they get the opportunity. And I get it. You have an opportunity to make some money out of some billion-dollar company who misstepped or tripped on something, and people do it all the time. I just found it kind of ridiculous in a way. That's just my 2 cents worth on it. It's not knocking her for being overweight. It's knocking her for thinking that that everybody else has to accommodate her because of it. And I get, like, people with disabilities and things like that, they need accommodations. And there are laws and regulations for businesses to have, handicap ramps to get into buildings and accessible doors and things like that for people with disabilities to be able to get in and out. And you have braille menus and you have all this different stuff. But not every business offers that. You know what I'm saying? And, it's tough having a disability. If you have a disability, it's tough. There's a lot of exceptions that have to be made on your part. And I get that. But I don't know. Maybe we'll go on to the next story. I don't think she has a case, really. It's kind of silly to me. And that's why she's in the news, because everybody's like, why is she, the comments on them are ridiculous and horrible. People saying the most absurd and ridiculous things because they're not face to face. And the internet is very cruel in that aspect, and it does it all the time. But, Slay Raya is learning about all kinds of random stuff we have here in the United States. She didn't know what Lyft was. She doesn't know what IHOP is. And a few other little nuances that we have here in the States. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section. We have a nice group of people that join us on the podcast every day. I got some nice people who are moderators. They'll answer any question you have if I don't catch your comment in the thing here. They can pin comments as well if they wanted to for me to look at later. So if you have a very valid question, something very interesting you want to put out there, or something to talk about, it can be put in the chat and I can check on it. So we got a good community here. Make sure you hit the like button, get that thumbs up going for me, please, guys, if you don't know. But yeah, come on in, you're learning. We're happy to tell you. This whole podcast is hanging out with some friends over a cup of coffee. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about commercials or TV or hobbies or what we think is beautiful in the world, like my survey says here. Right now, 33% believe plants are beautiful. 67 believe animals are beautiful, and nobody cares about the people or landscape. So, you know, oh, and Ab Norman is Red Bull. So if anybody can like send him a coupon for Red Bull, that would make his day. We also have a Discord account, and it will be in the description of the video if you want to join and stay in touch with our family of people that join the chat every day. People like trade stories and put little things on there and ask questions. We just communicate, and it's a little community we're building. So yeah, we're expanding, we're growing, getting things like that going on, and it's really cool. It's really cool. You do have rain in Morocco. That's awesome. But anyway, let's check out the Good News Network again. See what we have this day in history. We're blowing through this pretty fast. I'm only 15 minutes in. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Let's see here. So it's January 29th. Let's see here. A movie came out. Man, whatever. Let's see here. Some guy was born. Oh, Sleeping Beauty, Walt Disney's Sleeping Beauty movie premiered in 1959 on this day. So if you like Disney movies, that's when that came out. If you have Disney on streaming service, they may be commemorating that date. Who knows? Let's see. The first commercial flights from China to Taiwan was in 1949. I don't know. It's just they're like fishing for stuff to have good things to talk about on this day in history, I guess. Like I said, these are only good topics. I'm sure there's a lot of horrific things that happen on this day in history, but we don't try to focus on that on this channel. We try to stay positive. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's all kinds of different stuff going on in the world. Something happened. Something was built. The World Heritage Convention that would ultimately become UNESCO was established 52 years ago. 52 years ago today. So if you know about that, it was an international agreement to pay for and conserve Borobudur, a 9th century Buddhist temple in Indonesia. So yesterday we had, was it Poland had freedom of religion in 15 something other, and then there's another thing that kind of preserves something in another religion, I think that's great. I think that's great. Different stuff like that. I've said it a million times. You can be and believe or not believe in anything you want as long as you do it peacefully. That's my only caveat. So I think that's awesome. I'm not a big fan of UNESCO. I don't really know much about it. I'd have to read into it. I'm sure there's some blemishes on their record. I wouldn't doubt it. I think every every organization that tries to do good gets a blemish here and there. I don't know the whole story in UNESCO. I was just kind of skimming through this app that gives us good news for the day. And so yeah, don't hold me accountable for it, please. I'm excited about the beautiful weather we're going to be having. The sun's starting to rise outside. It's just going to be great. I'm really excited about it. I really am. I do not like cold weather. And yeah, we have quotes of the day as well. Let's see what we got for a quote of the day. So America did not invent human rights. In the very real sense, human rights invented America. Jimmy Carter. So that's your quote of the day, according to this app that they want to throw out there. Something to ponder upon if you're here in the States, or if you're not. Any country that has democracy and freedoms can use that same quote. It doesn't have to be just America, Today's National Puzzle Day. I didn't know that. I did see a video of jigsaw puzzle competition. Yes, jigsaw competition. And they had a room full of tables and all these people, young and old, with a random 500-piece jigsaw puzzle. And they started a timer. And whoever finished their 500-piece puzzle first won. And I think if I remember correctly, this one younger lady, I can't remember where she's from, She finished the whole puzzle in like 3 hours or something like that. I mean, I may have butchered that, but yeah, there's actual competition for that. So if you like jigsaw puzzles, you may want to train up. And National Puzzle Day. There's a National Everything Day. There's probably a national. There's got to be a National Coffee Day, a National Computer Day, a National Dictionary Day. I'm just looking around the room here. National Snack Day. Whatever. National Neon Sign Day or whatever I got going on. It's a national something every time. But yeah, every day is national something here in the United States. It's kind of ridiculous in a way. It depends on what you're a fan of. There's more than 365 things to be nationalized and celebrated every year. I'm sure they stack on top of each other on different days throughout the year as well. But yeah, National Snack Day, sign me up. I got a box of Cheez-Its over here that I snack on when I'm playing on the computer, and I was just looking around. Oh gosh, Wesley, your Zaza Day's coming up April 20th, 420. So do you do the May 4th thing for like Star Wars? May the 4th be with you. And then you got National Pie Day, which is March 21st. Or is it 12th? Oh gosh, I forgot the formula for pi now. 3.12, right? Why am I forgetting that? Now I feel horrible. Pi is 3.21 or 3.12. I've completely drawn a blank. This is embarrassing. I can't believe I'm having to Google this. 3.14. Why did I say 2? 3.14. I feel bad now. I feel bad on the formula for pi. I've really lost my intellect. It's really bothered me. I couldn't believe I could remember 3.14. Jeez, what is wrong? I need more coffee. Mm. Yeah. Tacos, Mayfia, Cinco de Mayo. And then you got Star Wars for, May the 4th be with you. And then you got Pi Day, which is March 14th. And I just Googled pi real quick. And one of the questions was, how long did it take to find the 62.8 trillion digits of pi? And a supercomputer took 108 days to run the calculations back in 2021. That's a lot of damn numbers. And yeah, there you go. 108 days to figure out 62.8 trillion digits of pi. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with 62.8 trillion digits of pi? I had my uncle, who I admire greatly, and I regret not spending more time with him. It really bothers me, but he was a very smart man, very brilliant man. His name was Malcolm, just like me. And I have this fond memory of going to his place for a weekend, a family little trip to go visit him, my dad's brother. And he had an old computer screen, the little green screen. This is like in the 80s. And he was on a mission to memorize the first 100 digits of pi. And he did it. He memorized it. And he had me there as a kid looking at the screen, following along with him on these numbers. And he wasn't like a guy like come over here with a notepad. He was literally like just looking up a little bit like this and just naming them all off, looking at the ceiling, going da, 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 da. And it just blew my mind that he could memorize the sequence of 100 digits of pi that he had memorized. And I don't know why I remember that. I thought it was just super impressive. I'll never forget that day. I don't know. This random stuff like that sticks in my mind. But yeah, he memorized the first 100 digits of pi. That was quite wild. But anywho, tacos. I haven't had tacos in a while. I may go eat some tacos today. And he ate 100 pies, pretty close. No, he was actually like a vegan. He wouldn't. That was the one bad thing about visiting him. There was nothing to eat there. He had like nuts and berries and granola. Well, not even granola bars. He just had straight up granola that he made himself. So He would make like cucumber sandwiches with mustard, and that would be his snack for the day. And I'm sitting there going, as a kid, going, you don't have any bologna and cheese, some peanut butter, and something like that. And it just, yeah, that was one thing that I didn't enjoy um, about him. But to his credit, I look back and I'm like, it was the things that he did. He was very focused. He didn't contradict himself. He was just a really great guy. Um, and then when he bequeathed his land, I don't know, I'm guessing like 30 acres in Alabama to some national wildlife because he wanted to preserve it. And he had this little cottage type house on it, which has been since demolished, I believe, um, from the people who inherited the land there and are preserving the nature on there. He had a little trail. I don't know. I could go on and on about him. Um, Super nice guy. Tacos are amazing. Now, do we like hard tacos or soft tacos? Do you want the crunch or do you want the soft shell tacos? We can kind of wrap it up like a quesadilla or a fajita or something like that. uh, I don't know. I remember him having little trails through his woods, and he was very meticulous about where you walked in the woods. You wouldn't step on things, and he would identify plants and throughout his little trail that he made. I don't know. It just looking back, I just admire all the things that he did. I really miss the guy. But anyway, I don't want to get upset. Um, Both soft if I had to choose. I do like the soft tacos better than the crunchy tacos. I do. Um, I don't know. It seems like when I get a crunchy taco, it ends up being a soft taco because it gets soggy and falls apart. Especially if you get like all the ground beef and all the fat that's in it, and then your hard taco shell just starts disintegrating. You're like, I can't eat it. So either way, you're going to end up with a soft taco in the end. So, but if I had to choose, I normally get soft tacos. I like the corn tortillas versus the flour tortillas. Some restaurants won't offer that, some will. Mm. It's time for a refill. Give me what is it? What do I say? 22 seconds, and I'm gonna get a refill and be right back. Don't go anywhere. Talks amongst yourselves. Was it 22 seconds or was I too quick? Should I have slowed down a little bit? Real Mexican food, yeah. A lot of Mexican restaurants here in the States are actually what they call Tex-Mex. It's like Americanized Mexican food, if you will. Just like Chinese food is not traditional Chinese food. When you go to a Chinese restaurant here in the States, it's like, all fried and with these sugary sauces on them and stuff like that. A lot of restaurants that claim to be ethnic restaurants stereotypically aren't very ethnic. Now, you can find some restaurants nowadays that are. They're not afraid to be authentic. Like the Indian restaurant here in town is very authentic from what I understand. It's great food. So, I remember like restaurants wanted to, people come to this country and start businesses. They wanted to accommodate to the American palate, and they would change their recipes to accommodate that. It wouldn't be authentic, but Americans didn't know any different, and they would be sitting there going, "Wow, this is great," and then, but now, restaurants are afraid to be authentic, and they want to bring diversity in the food, and I think a lot of it again has to do with the internet and the vast amount of knowledge that's spread around all the time. It just opened people's eyes, like, wow, I want to try that, and a lot of shows too, things like that. Hot sauce. Yeah, what kind of hot sauce do you like, Wesley? Um, I can handle a little bit of hot sauce. I like Louisiana hot sauce, the brand. People like Frank's Red Hot. Some people like Tabasco sauce, and I'm sure there's a million other hot sauces that you could get from all types of intensities that are not meant for human digestion. Um, if you're a hot sauce fan, I can't do that either. See those? There's that shows like hot ones where they interview a celebrity with 10 different hot wings and they just get hotter as they go. And nah, that's insanity. And these peppers, people are like GMO and all these different hot peppers that they can't be good for your digestive system. It can't be. I can't understand something that hot and so painful could be good for you. I don't know. People say that about alcohol. It destroys your liver, but people think it's really good too. Yeah, tobacco, whatever. But these hot peppers, I think they'll burn right through your intestines. I don't know. It's supposed to be like a it's supposed to be like a chemical reaction with your taste buds, and that's what gives you the sensation of heat. Because it's like the chemical reaction. Now don't quote me. Is like technically burning your taste buds, and that gives your body the sensation you're eating something hot, and it makes you sweat because your body's reacting to that reaction. That's redundant. Slay Ryan is so confused right now. I'm just babbling along. Oh gosh, Slay Ryan, we gotta have to get you get you up on American culture. My mind just goes, and I'm picking up on comments here on the side, and just going with it. What on earth are crunchy tacos? Imagine a tortilla chip, right? A corn chip, and they shape it into a bowl, and you put all your ingredients in this little, where they fold it in half and they leave an opening so you can have like your lettuce and your meat and cheese and whatever else you want to put in your taco, and the shell is like a tortilla chip. It's crunchy, and that's your crunchy taco. And hot sauce. People like hot sauce. Or salsa. I always put salsa in mine. A homemade hot sauces, yeah, that's popular too. Um, we're happy to explain anything to you, Soraya. Just ask us anything. We have fun talking to each other about anything. We welcome everybody to come in here and ask questions. Not a big deal at all. We highly encourage it. So let's go back to our poll, see if anybody likes people. Nobody likes people or landscape. Oh well, plants and animals, that's it. Everything else is ugly. I'm not, that question isn't steered to like personality or consequence of these things. So if you think people are ugly, it's we're not judging them on their character. It's kind of opposite of what Martin Luther King wanted. So I guess people are ugly. So, take a trip to Morocco and bring tacos. I don't think they would last during transit. We would have to get local ingredients and try to reconstruct tacos there. I don't know. I've never been able to. You can't seem to do the poll. It keeps leaving my screen before I can vote. I don't know. But I've never made tortilla chips like from scratch. I've never made hard taco shells because you can just, here in the States, you can just go to the store and buy boxes of them ready to go, and just throw your stuff in them, crunch away, and have a good day. Make them in Morocco. There you go, Sloraya. We should do a split screen. We could do a split screen with Sloraya in Morocco if she's not camera shy. And we can experience her attempt to make tacos. That'd be fun to do. I think that'd be cool. People love watching food-related stuff on YouTube live streams. People cooking, chopping things up, and frying things, or baking things, or whatever else. Yeah. Fry, cut up tortillas. Corn tortillas, yep. It would not work. It might work. Get Sloraya's first-hand opinion on tacos and what she thinks about them. Oh, man. Anywho. I'm getting random text messages and garbage on my phone. I'm going to put this thing away so I don't get distracted. But anywho, Well, we got 10 minutes left. We're kind of breezing right through this as we always do. We managed to make it through each live stream with a good laugh and a few things in the comments. So thanks for joining, guys. As a side note, I'm getting really close to my 3,000 hour mark on the channel. I'm excited about it. I'm hoping I can hit that milestone by the end of the week. Let's look at it real quick. I need 3,000 hours to take this to the next level, and I'm at 2874. And I got some cool ideas for some member perks for the channel, some exclusive videos that I want to make, some exclusive access to a few things I have plans for as well. If you want to become a member when this milestone gets hit, we're going to throw those out there, memberships and stuff like that. Give some shout outs and stuff too. Again, I have to thank all you guys. I love doing this every morning. How old are you? She's in the 7th grade. Slaria's in the 7th grade. Oh my goodness. All right. Not against anything against you, Slaria. I don't really encourage people on here under the age of 18 for legality problems and issues. I don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble. We may say or do things on here that's not appropriate for children. That's just a disclaimer and a forewarning. And I have listed all my YouTube videos as not made for kids. So if you want to participate, I'm not going to stop you, but I would forewarn you that you may encounter or hear things that may not be appropriate for children as far as news stories or opinions and language and things like that. So I just want to say that kind of stuff. I don't want to get in trouble. But all in good, it's all in good fun. We don't discriminate against anybody. I just need to throw that out there in case somebody comes back later in the world and says, you know, what did Malcolm do with the 7th grader on his stream? So yeah. Explains what not knowing a crunchy taco is. Yeah. I'm PG rated. Well, some of my videos are not PG rated, especially like my Name This Song series. I won't do much with explicit lyrics, but it is kind of, to me, it's kind of humorous to hear that in a different poetic tone. I got some ideas for some more PG rated songs with PG rated lyrics and things of that nature as well coming up. I enjoy doing that. It's super easy to throw one of those together. 20 minutes, I've done the lyrics, the cutting and editing, and throwing it on YouTube. It's a super easy little skit to do. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad you guys like hanging out with me. I try to keep it, low key, if you will. I'm not low key, but yeah, PG rated, maybe PG 13 sometimes. Yeah, whatever. We're not rated R by any means, so. And if you don't know what that means, Laria, there's a a rating system in the entertainment industry here in the United States where you have different ratings according to age brackets and things that are suggested for viewing audiences. G is like cartoons, like Disney movies for any age of any kind. PG might have some action in there that may not be suited for. I don't even know how they came up with that. How did they come up with the rating system for movies and stuff? Because you got G, PG, PG-13, R, and then you go into well, there's M17. That's a new one they threw in there right below R. Oh man, it's wholesome. Thank you, Abnorm. Where did they come up with that though? The G, PG, PG-13, M17, R, and then you get your X's. That's a whole other thing. Yeah, where did they come up with that? It's been a while. Somebody can look that up and let me know. How did they come up with the letter rating for movies here in the United States? And what constitutes justification for certain ratings? There's some panel that pre-watches these movies, and it's required by law to have them all rated, I think. Even though, like, the new Captain America movie that's coming out, and they're promoting it, coming out, like, next week, and at the very end of the trailer, like, this movie has not yet been rated. It's like, okay. And you know it's going to probably be rated R because of the violence and stuff like that that's going on. But you should do your homework, Soraya. You got your whole future ahead of you. And you can always watch these again and again, over and over again, as many times as you like on YouTube, with parental discretion advised. I just feel like I have to say that. But anyway, yeah, the rating system, that's something to look into, how they came up with that and what constitutes different ratings. And I mean, it's kind of ridiculous now with the internet. Any person, uh-oh. Oh no, I froze up there for a second. Any person can go anywhere on the internet and look at anything they want at any age. From the most wholesome thing of a flower blooming in a garden to horrific atrocities in war zones. And yeah, so I guess the letter rating system before the internet had good intentions, but I don't think it's really viable anymore. Learn some tacos, Soraya, and educate yourself in the culinary arts, and learn some what would be exotic food for you in Morocco. You're close to Spain, though. Does Spain have tacos? That's more of like a Mexican, Central American thing, I think. Maybe just educate me, somebody. Does Spain have tacos and fajitas? I don't know. I don't know if Spain has tacos and fajitas, even though they're the Spanish country, right? And all the different stuff over history. I can't imagine that Central America and invented tacos. Maybe they did. I don't know. What's the origin of tacos? Anybody can look that up real quick? Let me see if I can pull it up. I got the other screen going on here. Origin of tacos. And they're originated in Mexico, according to Google. Yep. Tacos, as we know them, originated in Mexico, and they came to the United States via the large number of Mexicans who migrated during the years preceding the Mexican Revolution. So there you go. They don't say what year. Okay, here we go. It talks about Mexico itself. Did Aztecs eat tacos? Middle East, Lebanese, all these different questions. It's funny, all the different questions people ask about tacos, and it'll give you all these options. Google will. Some of the other questions that are related to what I said. I just typed in origin of tacos, and some of the other ones like, did the Aztecs eat tacos? Did tacos come from the Middle East? Did the Lebanese invent tacos? Who was the first person to eat a taco? And why do tacos have two tortillas? Those are the top trending questions regarding tacos. There's a bunch of there's significant debate about the origins of tacos. We can go on about tacos all day long. We learn random stuff on here. I think it's kind of funny how Google will try to anticipate your question or give you a multitude of possible questions you may have intended to ask or that are popular or trending based on the topic you searched. And it can be very entertaining sometimes and bizarre. Like I just asked the origin of tacos, and they said Mexico, but the next question was like, did the Lebanese invent tacos? I don't know why somebody would ask that. They probably saw something on the internet and thought, oh, I need to get Lebanese did that. I always thought it was Mexico. But anyway, do your research. We're almost done, guys. It's almost 7:45. I apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning of this live stream due to my own neglect or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I apologize for that. But we had a pretty good stream. We talked about flowers, tacos, the beauty of the world. One person believes people are beautiful. 40% think plants, 40% animal, and 20% people. Nobody cares about the landscape as far as being beautiful. Anywho, thanks for watching, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great day, evening, or night, wherever you may be. Like, subscribe, share these videos. Check out some other stuff in the channel as well. You might be entertained. Compliment a stranger, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Now I gotta I still have to figure this out so I can do it more efficiently as far as ending the stream. Boop. You get to see how